Witnessing an unprecedented surge in new political parties ahead of the 2026 elections, with more parties emerging than ever before. This trend is characterized by politicians either launching entirely new entities or rebranding existing ones, potentially altering the country's political dynamics. Political players attribute the new parties to a calculated strategy by the government, suggesting that these parties are being kept on standby in case major opposition parties boycott the 2026 elections.
Regardless of the many registered political parties, with key players being the ruling National Resistance Movement, the National Unity Platform, Forum for Democratic Change, Uganda People's Congress, and many others, Uganda's political landscape has seen several new political parties come on board ahead of 2026 polls. Among the newly registered political parties include the People's Front for Freedom, currently led by Kampala Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago; the Revival Coalition led by former presidential candidate John Katumba; National Foundation Party; the National Agrarian Party; the People Power Front; Shine Uganda; Uganda Prosperity Party, and the National Economic and Redemption Party. In this category, we also have parties that have changed hands and have been rebranded, like the Democratic Alliance, Common Man's Party, formerly Uganda Economic Party, and the National Peasant Party, and others. Opposition leaders are accusing the ruling National Resistance Movement of orchestrating the surge in the new political parties to dilute the opposition vote.
So there are parties which are formed as standby there in the event that, for example, major parties were to boycott an election. Then they would just get those outfits and deploy them. Is that consideration on their part?
The NRM is accused of everything that the opposition groups fail to do. They always hide their deficiencies and point at the NRM as the problem. But if we are the problem, you can't clap with one hand. Definitely there is another invisible hand that claps with us. Why does it happen?
While the opposition accuses NRM, internal opposition party politics and flawed nomination processes are also driving the creation of new parties as frustrated aspirants seek alternative platforms.
And the group that falls out tries to form a party, like we did so ourselves when we separated with the FDC.
Regardless of the many registered political parties, some opposition players are urging colleagues to ignore the many parties and focus on ending President Museveni's rule.
The focus of our people should be focused on how do we change our government, how do we stop the NRM government.
At this moment, I don't see a massive impact on so far